Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Joedock Hour. So with us today, we have amazing rapper, musician, lyricist, performer. We got Blossom in the... So the first question I want to ask you is that where are you from?
I'm from LA, I say, but I've lived in Baltimore also for like 7 years. But I was born in North Carolina.
Whoa.
So it's a lot of back and forth. I was born in North Carolina, then grew up out here mainly in the Valley. And then when I was like 10, I moved to Baltimore and then moved back here at the beginning of colorist. Yeah.
Wow.
Back and forth.
Damn. Do you think that when you were in Baltimore, is that where you started rapping or getting into music?
That's where I started getting into music. I didn't start rapping until I got to colorist, ironically enough.
Really?
But my mom's a rapper.
Is she really?
So it's kind of, yeah, she is. She's amazing. Shout out Rosie Lorraine. But no,
So
she's a rapper. She's amazing. So that's always been something, I guess, in me, maybe subconsciously. But no, I started getting into music in Baltimore around like 13.
Damn. So what kind of music were you into around that time?
I was a huge Taylor Swift fan.
Oh my gosh.
And I know she just released an album, and I did listen to it. But
shout out to Taylor Swift.
Shout out Taylor Swift if you're watching.
Probably is watching.
But no, I was a huge Swiftie, and she's an amazing songwriter, and it's so simple the way she writes, and that's kind of how I got into songwriting and writing my own stuff. And I would learn her songs, and then other songs I liked on guitar, and then started singing, and yeah. Yeah, well, recently I haven't really been able to write as easily as I used to. I think that's just because over the summer I was doing a lot of shows, so I was not really in the writing mindset. Recently I've kind of been able to let my mind go and write some stuff, but it's usually, as of recently, to a track. So yeah, I'll get a track from a friend or whatever, and then I'll get a line. I always write down lines that come to my head in like my notes app, just because it's convenient. Sometimes I don't have anything. I just go in there and pick one and go off of that. Nice. But yeah, it's usually to a track or beat that's already given to me.
Yeah, and I know that one of the producers that you work with is Benny.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Benny Beats.
Yeah, so shout out to Benny Beats.
Shout out Benny. But my influences in general are, number one is probably like Lauryn Hill. So if you think of like Miseducation, Lauryn Hill, that album has always influenced me. I'm also into a lot of the Alchemist, like his production on everything, Earl Sweatshirt and all of them.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think with that one, it was kind of like, I can't remember which track we had worked on first. I think it might have been Castaway, which started from that
the backyard.
Right, that was trending on TikTok at the time. Yeah. And that's when I was just kind of getting TikTok, and I was like, what if we made a track and we could put it on TikTok and maybe it'll like go viral? I don't know.
Castaway, save those days for another day, 'cause we are castaways, castaways, castaways. We are castaways, save those days for another day, 'cause we are.
So I kind of sent that to Ben, kind of to be funny, but then it turned out being cool. But I just wanted to make a song with that sample because I thought it was really cool. But
also amazing idea too, though.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean it didn't go viral, but still, I feel like we got a good song out of it. But yeah, I think that was the first one that we did off of that, and then the other ones were just things I had been writing to for a minute, and then we finally put them all together.
Wow. Yeah. How long did that project take to like the beginning to the release?
We started it during 2020, like when we were doing
Oh, wow.
stuff over Zoom, is when, because that's when Ben and I really started working together. Because he was still in France. He was in there when we were all quarantined. So he was like sending me beats from there, and I would just write to him,
Wow.
and I would send them back to him. He would mix them, master them, and then I'd release them like back over here. So yeah, we started that process a while ago, and I don't even think I had the idea of making an EP. That came later. It's like we have enough tracks where we can kind of put them together, and make something. And then beginning of last year, junior year, is when I kind of started putting all of the pieces together and trying to make it a cohesive thing to put out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now since you have an EP under your belt, where I know that you said that you're gonna start pretty soon developing your next project. Where do you see, what's your like goal, or do you have any visions with like what you want to do next with your music?
It's a good question, because I've gone back and forth. For a while I was saying I wanted to work like on an album, like a lot of songs, like 13, 14, 15, whatever. Now I'm kind of loosening up on that goal, only because I don't want to put too much forced pressure on myself to like push out a bunch of lyrics and stuff, because it's not happening as naturally as it did last time with the EP. I'm like, okay, maybe it doesn't have to be an album, at least that soon. I was hoping maybe before I graduate, and that could still happen. But I am mainly just gonna release singles, I think, for a minute, and then see what happens.
How has it been like getting out into like LA and like networking and doing all of that stuff?
Yeah. My first show off campus was last, I don't remember how long ago it was. It was earlier this year. But that was really funny because it was at Harvard Yard Bar.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, there was this whole thing like with the guy at the door. It was like weird. I didn't get to go in until right before I performed, and I had to leave right after, whatever. But that was really cool because it wasn't even that many people there, but the people that were at the front were like really vibing with it. And I was already like irritated because of that whole mess that he like put me through. So I was like trying to get it together. But by the end of it, I had met so many cool people. And then there's a guy, shout out Andres, who DM'd me after that show and was like, hey, I was there. I have a band and we play all these shows, like house shows, whatever, you should come to this thing. So eventually I like went to one of them, and that kind of like snowball affected all of the shows that I ended up doing. It was a lot of like house shows, like backyard stuff, which was really cool. And I just got to meet like a lot of cool musicians that I still like work with and know now. So yeah, that was just really fun getting outside of this world and kind of making a new one. And meeting a new community of musicians who are also great. It was my last show of the summer before coming back to Cal Arts. A friend, Michael, who I said plays guitar, he's also an amazing musician himself. He releases his own music and everything. But he hosted 2 sets of house shows, and we both performed on the last night. And I don't know, something about the energy and like we were all like really in tune. I was at the end of it, I was like, that was the best set like we've done so far. I don't know what it is about. Sometimes it's like end of the night you're all tired, but it's like let's just do it, and then we all just really enjoyed ourselves.
Wow.
So yeah, I love house shows. Bar and like restaurant shows are cool too, but something about like a house party is always fun because people are just comfortable and it's laid back and good vibes.
Cozy. Like that flew by.
This is fun.
This was so fun. This has been like the best time ever. Blossom is so cool. You can check her out. I'm gonna put everything in the description box.
Yes.
check Blossom out. You can find her on social media at what's your social?
Oh, Just Blossom. It's JUSTBLOSSOM.
Just Blossom. Thank you so much to Jade, who has been
Shout out
behind the
Jade.
camera, helping out. Amazing. All right, Joedock Hour.